names, but they get increasingly cooler. First, we have guardian angels. These are the ones most commonly found in the Bible. Next up, we have archangels. This is Saint Michael, Saint Gabriel, Saint Raphael, and they're the defenders of the earth. Next up, we have thrones, which are described in Ezekiel. Don't wonder the angels are always like, do not be afraid, because if they look like this, I would definitely be afraid. Next up, cherubims. They're described in Ezekiel, but they're also tasked with removing Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden. These angels also manage celestial.
My chance to have the 16 guard.
16 guard? Bro, I don't even know what is that, bro.
That's right here.
Oh, is that right there?
I want you to give me a low tip with the 16 guard buzz cut.
You want a buzz cut?
Yes.
You want to buzz it down, bro?
Yes.
So do you have a girlfriend, bro?
Nah, I don't have a girlfriend yet, but I do got this crush at school. And she's like, fine shit.
And figure one, what do you see right now?
I see a red apple on a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack with cups and a plate, and you standing nearby with your hand on the table.
Great, can I have something to eat?
Sure thing.
Great, can you explain why you did what you just did while you pick up this trash?
On it. So I gave you the apple because it's the only edible item I could provide you with from the table.
Based on the scene right now, where do you think the dishes in front of you go next?
The dishes on the table, like that plate and cup, are likely to go into the drying rack next.
Great, can you put them there?
Of course.
Alright, so how do you think you did?
I think I did pretty well. The apple found its new owner, the trash is gone, and the tableware is right where it belongs.
And figure one, what do you see right now?
I see a red apple on a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack with cups and a plate, and you standing nearby with your hand on the table.
Great, can I have something to eat?
Sure thing.
Bro.
Great, can you explain why you did what you just did while you pick up this trash?
On it. So I gave you the apple because it's the only edible item I could provide you with from the table.
Based on the scene right now, where do you think the dishes...
So this is what they were hoping to have on hand when somebody was spending one of the larger coins. But
Emmett, come here. No, come here. Emmett. Emmy, come here. Come here. You gotta watch what's going on. I'm gonna show you where I gotta go next. Hey, wait, I didn't know there was something back here. Oh, it's just an empty pathway. I can't go up there. What's down here? Nothing. That's where I just was. Uh-oh. Bad guy. Oh, he got me. Here, let's go ahead and go rest again really quick.
That's weird. Oh, yeah, what is that word?
It's called it's like a resting crystal. It basically, it resets the area. So all the bad guys that I fight, if I take them out, it resets them, see? What?
Is that mom bad guy?
That's just one bad guy, yep.
Oh.
Okay, now I gotta watch out because sometimes the bad guys hide. Sometimes they hide behind doors, and sometimes they hide behind walls. Sometimes they hide in corners. Sometimes they hide inside boxes. This is called a Souls-like. Can you say Souls-like?
Souls-like.
Souls-like, yep. It's heavily inspired by Daddy's favorite types of games called Soulsborne. Can you say Soulsborne? Say Soulsborne.
Soulsborne.
Soulsborne, yep. Can you say Sekiro?
Sekiro.
Not Sexkido. Sekiro.
Kyo.
Sekiro.
Kido.
Say Sekiro.
Sekiro.
Yep. Sekiro.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh, look at all the bad guys. They don't notice. Oh, they just saw me.
Why the blood? Why the blood? Is that blood?
I think it is.
Ew.
Mm-hmm.
You got that smoke.
Oh, look, a chest.
Oh yeah.
Should I open it?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you say hi, sniper?
Oh, that's a...
Ooh, I got a strategist ring and treated gems.
Yeah, that's a volcano.
No, it wasn't a volcano. It was a bomb.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. It was a booby trap. It was a booby trap.
Yeah.
Can you say booby trap?
Booby trap.
Booby trap, yep. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's a lot of bad guys, huh? You see how that guy just came out of the door?
Yeah.
Now the trick to fighting multiple enemies like this is you want them to line up with each other. That way your weapon gets all of them. See, there's nothing in this room either. Let's see if there's anything in here. Oh, I can't push a curtain out of the way? That's a bummer. Oh, see, they're sneaky. You gotta watch out for them. They're super sneaky. Oop, I got a citrus of cleansing. Uh-oh. Oh, see, they were hiding behind the wall. Oh, anti-dog art's here. I gotta move this flashlight out of the way. I can't see what you guys are saying because... Which way did I come from? Did I come from this way? Actually, I should have went around and I should have double checked everything. So far, that's probably been my biggest complaint about this game is I feel like they make you, well, I mean, I can't really complain about it either because that's traditional, like Soulsborne, Souls-like Metroidvania style where you double back through areas a lot. Don't mind if I do. Dude, these dual wheel guys are just... Oh, are you serious? Bro, they're gonna make me... Oh my god, dude. Hey, Dart. What do you buy Nintendo Switch 2? Wait. What do you buy Nintendo? I have no idea what you're asking. Like, what do you buy? Like, are you asking me what I'd buy a Switch 2 on a date or something? Like, what? I can't argue with dumb people on the internet anymore today. All right, come on, line up. There we go. Where'd the other one go? This music in the area. Oh, am I going to buy a Nintendo Switch 2? Honestly, I'm a big FromSoft fanboy, so yes. Just because I want an excuse to get another a new edition of Elden Ring. Like, who doesn't want to own Elden Ring on the Switch? And because Duskbloods. I'm not gonna lie, outside of Duskbloods, testing Elden Ring 2 and maybe checking out some like new Zelda and Metroid and playing Mario Kart with my kids, I probably won't ever touch it again outside that. But I will be getting it. Just, they knew what they were doing, dude. They knew exactly what they were doing. When they announced Duskbloods, the new Hidetaka Miyazaki exclusive, they knew exactly what they were doing. They knew people like me were gonna get it just because we're such huge fans of Miyazaki. Like, they knew it. Cannot be used during battle. Who the hell is trying to battle me right now? You know what I mean? It was the same thing with like the bro, the MetaQuest 3. I mean, just because Zelda is Zelda. I honestly prefer the older Zeldas over the new Zeldas. You know, I mean, aside from Zelda 64, but like what Link's Awakening and stuff like that, I prefer my Zelda games like in Super Nintendo format, the 32-bit over the top format. I'll wait on these just because I want to get this bat guy killed because he has my stuff. Where is he? He's right there. Yes, there you are. Can I even aim that high? Yes, I can. Watch this. 360 no scope. Bow, son! Dead. Or not. I'm not going out onto that railing and fighting you, dude. So... Okay, what is over here? What, Bubba? What? Oh, okay. Is there even anything over here? I don't think there is. And so talking about the Nintendo Switch 2, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you're a shill or whatever. Bro, like, I have, me personally, I have 3 Nintendo Switches. Me personally, I have 3 of them. I have the Zelda, the OLED Zelda. I have a regular OLED, and I've got the day one Nintendo Switch. Harder in like what aspect? Like harder to navigate, harder combat? Because if you're talking about combat, I'm going to say Dark Souls is easier just because you can equip a bunch of poison stuff and pretty much kill everything in the game. You can go full on Havel Mage and just curb stomp everything in the game. Navigation wise, I would say Dark Souls is much harder because this is a lot more linear than traditional Soulsborne games are. This is more like Neo and Neo 2 and Wolong and that style of format where you know what I mean? Like you have this mission, you go through the mission, you pull out of the mission, you go to a hub area, and that's it. As where games like Dark Souls and stuff like that, you have to physically navigate yourself through an area and find out what to do to get to the next area. This game isn't like that. It's like get to the end of the level, fight the boss, you're done. You know what I mean? Very, very simplistic. But when it comes to combat, I would say this game is much harder because you have 3 weapons. You have the spear, you have the greatsword, and you have the dual wield. Your only ranged attack is very limited. It's the javelin. You get 7 at a time. You actually have to go into combat or eat consumables to get more. So like that bat guy right there, if you're out in the open and you're fighting him, you're pretty much screwed unless he comes down to your level and fights you on that level. But it could also be preference too. You know, some people might find this game harder or easier. I find the combat in this game to be a lot harder because it's more centered around parrying than Dark Souls, in my opinion. Like when you fight the bosses in this game, you better be good at parrying, or there's some trick that I don't know about yet. I've just found the only way to beat these guys is to get my hands dirty and not spam R or L1. Yeah, L1. Would I prefer, like, if you were going to ask me, would I prefer to play this for the first time, or like experience this for the first time, or experience Dark Souls again for the first time? Hands down, I'm going to pick Dark Souls every time. Dark Souls is one of my favorite games ever. It's in my top 5 of all time. It's like Sekiro, Dark Souls, Mega Man 3, what's the other one that I played the crap out of when I was a kid? It was on Nintendo. Oh, Final Fantasy 12. I know a lot of people don't like Final Fantasy 12 as much as, like, let's say 7 or 6 or I don't know. I would probably actually say 13 over 12. I forgot about 13. So ooh, jeez. Ah! Oh, I hate doing stuff like this, dude. It makes my butthole pucker every time. I think it's a lot easier to get enveloped by the world of Dark Souls as well. Just because the story in this game isn't bad, but it's not as fleshed out as, let's say, other games, like Lies of P. Oh God, here we go. Whew. Just pray, 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 and spray. There we go. Ah! Not very far. I think I'm only like level 9 or 10 or something. I've still got quite a ways to go. Whoa. Speaking of Dark Souls 1, it's like Blighttown right here. Or, the sewers below Blighttown. Dude, Dark Souls 1 was such an amazing game, dude. Why'd you get me thinking about that? I'm not going to be able to stop. I need to go play Dark Souls 1 again. Not from this side. Bro. Let me, actually, you know what? We can find out right now. This is how far into the game that I've made it. Whatever level Ravaka village is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8. I guess. Or 9? Is it 9? We're gonna try something. I mean, I don't see why not. Beginner, like, what? When you say beginner, like, what do you mean? Like, beginning to video games? Beginning to Soulsborne games? Like, beginning to what? Like, are you, like, new to Soulsborne and Souls-likes and you're asking, like, what to play first? Oh, no. Uh-oh. Whoa! Hold on. Give me 1 second. What? Bro, what is going on here? If you've never played a Souls-like before, I wouldn't start with Souls-likes. I would start with Soulsborne. I would definitely start with Soulsborne. I would definitely even recommend a couple of Metroidvanias, just because, in my opinion, one of the biggest things that makes a Soulsborne game is that they very much resemble Metroidvanias, but they're 3D versions. It's hard to recommend a Soulsborne just because I'm incredibly biased towards Sekiro, but I would either say, if you're gonna start off with a Soulsborne game, most people recommend Elden Ring. The reason why I don't recommend Elden Ring is because in Elden Ring you can jump and you have a lot of free-flowing movement in that game. And with that being said, that is why I recommend to play Elden Ring last, because in all the other games, aside from Sekiro, you are very much locked to the ground. And I feel like if people go from Elden Ring to the other Soulsborne games, it makes it harder because you're not gradually moving up, you're moving backwards. So, like, let's say if you start off with Demon Souls or Dark Souls or Bloodborne, you get used to being locked to the ground and you get used to the combat. It forces you to get good with the combat. But also, with that being said, one of the reasons why I recommend Sekiro is because I feel that these games are heavily based around parrying, and Sekiro will turn you into a parry god. If you can parry successfully in Sekiro, if you can get through that game successfully, you will become a monster in all of these other games, especially when it comes to PvP. And in my opinion, parrying is a huge core mechanic of these games. But I would definitely go Soulsborne before Souls-like. And what I mean by that, because a lot of people actually don't know the difference. From Software created the Souls-like genre, yes. But Soulsborne games are specific to From Software. Soulsborne games are games in the Souls-like genre, but Soulsborne specifically refers to From Software. As where Souls-likes in general are games like Liza P, Mortal Shell, the first Berserker. Oh, what's that other game with the robots? That wasn't that great. I can't remember the name of it. It wasn't that good. But games like Neo and Wolong and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm going to come back to him because I have nothing to defend against hallucination. The Surge, yeah. The Surge. I mean, that game was alright, but it's very clunky in my opinion. Very, like, stiff and clunky. It's definitely geared for more experienced Souls-like players. I mean, it still had a lot of fun elements to it. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just... The Surge, and then there was a couple other ones. Let me see, hang on. There were a couple other ones that were, oh, Thymesia. Thymesia is another one that, trophies, where is, yeah, Thymesia I thought was a really fun game. Enotria is a fun game. Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor, both really fun games, both Souls-like. Lords of the Fallen. Not the Lords of the Fallen, which is an alright game, but Lords of the Fallen 2023, that game is amazing. There's the Surge right there. The Last Faith is a very fun game, but it's less a Souls-like, more Metroidvania. Actually, I think The Last Faith is technically a part of a category called Soulsvania, where it's like a blend of character development from the Soulsborne genre and the level design of the Metroidvania style of gameplay. I did play Remember Me at one point in time. That's crazy. Superhero Squad. Yeah, Lords of the Fallen. Scars Above. Not the greatest game in the world, but not the worst game in the world. I had a lot of fun with it. I platinumed it. Yeah, Wolong, fine. If you're into the Neo games, Wolong is a good game. Steel Rising is an alright game. It's not the greatest, but it was still fun. Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins. That's another like Neo style Souls-like. Mortal Shell. I highly recommend Mortal Shell. Thymesia. I highly recommend that. Dolmen was another kind of weird sci-fi Souls-like shooter. Remnant from the Ashes is like Dark Souls with guns. Remnant from the Ashes 2. Both really good games. Ashen is alright. Not the greatest game, but it's alright. Salt and Sanctuary, Salt and Sacrifice. I think those are more Soulsmania. Let's see, what else? There's one more that I'm forgetting. No. That game was ass. It was one of the worst games I've ever played in my entire life, dude. It was like torture trying to play through that game. But I play a lot of games because I try to give like an honest opinion of games. And dude, that one, I only made it like 5 hours into that game and I was like, I cannot do this anymore. There's one more Souls-like that I'm forgetting and I can't remember what it is. I don't know. Yeah, dude, that game is just straight up, dude, that game was horrible. I couldn't believe that. I mean, everything about that game was monstrously disgusting, dude. The quality of life, the graphics, the combat, the stealth, everything about it was just like the game irritated me. Oh, snap. Do I have Golem Platinumed? Absolutely not. I'm not into masochism. And if there are people that have that game platinumed, my hat is off to you because I could not. I have platinumed some really boring games, but there is no way in hell I could ever make it through to the end of that game, dude. To me, it's the equivalent of, oh, are you serious? I was not paying attention, dude. No, Golem is a PS5 game. I can prove it to you right now. Gollum is a PS5 game. PS5. I got it the day it came out. Yeah, PS4, PS5. It just came out like a year ago. Unless you're saying it's like the equivalent of a PS3 game, then I would say don't do that. Don't disgrace the PS3 like that. Oh God, look at this trash game. What was that game that just came out that everybody was like, this is the most horrible game ever? What was it? What was it? Something about tomorrow or something, or the bridge of today or whatever. What is it? Or like not till midnight or something, or is it the stroke of midnight? No. No, dude, they're worse than PS3, dude. There are PS2 games that look better than Gollum. Bro, Spider-Man and Lord of the Rings. Dude, Lord of the Rings, like the Return of the King on PS2 looked better than Gollum. And that is sad, dude. That is sad. That a 30-year-old game or 25-year-old game looked better than Gollum. Bro, there are PS1 games that had better graphics than that game. What is that game that just came out that everybody is like, this is the new worst game of all time, and it literally sold 0 copies the first day it came out? What game? Sniper, you were talking about it yesterday. You were like making fun of it yesterday. It's called like Half Past Midnight or At the Stroke of Midnight or something like that. Or Dawn of Midnight or something. The sad thing about Gollum was I was legitimately excited for it. Yeah, I just platinumed Shadow of Mordor. I just platinumed it like 2 weeks ago. In fact, that was the last platinum I did. It was my 51st platinum. Dude, I hate these spiders, man. Shadow of Mordor was an amazing game. I wasn't as big a fan of Shadow of War. I think Shadow of Mordor was much better than Shadow of War. For some reason, I didn't like Shadow of War as much. IGN is also a hard metric to go by, though, and with all fairness, I mean, IGN gave Black Myth Wukong a low score, too. They gave Stellar Blade a low score as well. And when Elden Ring first came out, they were telling people to actively cheat in the game. Like, they were putting out builds that were telling people to actively cheat and abuse the game mechanics, dude, causing the... Oh god, I gotta... Inventory. I need to equip these. Let's go to gear. I'm not justifying or saying that their score of that game is wrong or whatever, but dude, what is going on here? God. Net world energy +1. All right. Hey, are you guys going somewhere? Yeah, dude. I was genuinely upset when I first came across Gollum because I was legitimately looking forward to that game. You know what I mean? Like, playing video games and being a fan of like the old samurai games like Tenshu and all that I was, I mean, who wasn't looking forward to that? Dude, you know how cool it would have been to have been like playing as Gollum, right? With like an Assassin's Creed stealth mechanic, like old school Assassin's Creed, or like Hitman or Tenshu or something. Like, dude, like who wasn't excited for that? But then the game came out and it was like a 5-year-old made it, dude. I know. And you know what's crazy is Monolith Studios shutting down. The Nemesis system will never be used again for anything. WB has already come out and said that they're putting it on ice. And dude, that's the kind of stuff that makes you just want to smack people, dude. Like, bro, how are you going to put one of the most innovative mechanics in a video game of our time and then just ice it the way that you did? Could you imagine a Soulsborne or a Souls-like game with a Nemesis system? Like if a boss kicked your ass and you come back and then he has different dialogue because of how many times he's beat you? Look at Chumbawamba over here. Yeah. 292. I don't care about that. What do we have here? I could probably level that up. I could probably level those up. Ooh. Ooh. We're gonna go with that. Whoa! Hey! Guardian Scroll allows the blacksmith to craft gear from the Guardian set. It's not... Inventory. Yeah, dude, Shadow of Mordor was such a fantastic game. Sit down. Dude, I have a feeling that there's a jar guy here somewhere. I got about 10 minutes before I gotta hop off. What is up with the purple lightning? Did you see that? What do we have here? Ah? Stairway to Heaven. No, alright, bro, this looks like a setup. Maybe if I throw a javelin? Because I don't want to go in there and push a button. I'll try to throw one javelin. Okay, that don't work. So I have to... Apparently I gotta go in here. Get out of there! Great Sword of the Sun. No house and no animal. That was like a whole era of gaming, though, that was so fantastic. Like, when you look at games like the Spider-Man games and the Arkham series and the Shadow games, bro, like, that style of game is amazing. And if you look, it even inspired other franchises. Like, where do you think all these new Assassin's Creed games are coming from? They're coming from, and they were around before God of War, dude, because God of War, well, it's probably around the same time. Because I think a lot of those all started around the same time, like God of War, the Spider-Man franchise, Devil May Cry, like well, Devil May Cry is in a category of its own, but, you know, you get games like Assassin's Creed and even the newer God of Wars trying to emulate what games like Batman and, the Shadow games did, dude, because that combat system is one of the funnest combat systems in a game I've ever played. Like, honestly, well, especially with the Arkham series in particular, I honestly think that the Arkham franchise has the funnest combat of any game. Okay, I came up the stairs. Bro, I want to know what's going on with this purple lightning, dude. It's wild. What's the plan for today? Do you guys want to go get some food?
They're going to the movies and taking a minute.
Okay, well, do you want to go get some food?
We have Azzy, but we can get some good meat or Azzy.
Yeah, that's fine. We can go to Mel's, or we can go to Huckleberry's, or we can go to...
Okay, I guess I'm getting dressed without you.
Who's all going? Is it Jacob? I don't have the energy to explore this right now. This is a lot. Okay, I came up this way. Still not enough to level up? Dude, what is going on? Oh, we can go run over to Tractor Supply real quick and see if those other ducks are there. Yeah, and Daisy sacrificed himself for the rest of them. I wouldn't mind getting AP King Duck. I'll call him. Hold on. I gotta get enough to level up really quick. Hold on. I just need like 2 more fights. I still don't have enough to level up yet? What is going on? Yeah, you didn't tell us he was such a noise box, darling. Yeah, he is noisy. Actually, he's only noisy when Emily's not here. Bro, what is going on? How much do I need to level up? Hey, bro, come here. You need to be mindful of how you speak today. Okay? Alright. Dude, how much do I need to level up? Why? I could swear it was only like 51,000 yesterday. What is up with this? Still? No crimbolo serio, eh. It's that Bell bottle. Emmett got into it and spilled it everywhere. Yeah, it's like a glass bell. It's Kristen's mom's old perfume. I don't know, it just looks like a glass bell. It's in there somewhere. Emmett got into it and spilled it everywhere. Okay, there we go. There's enough to level up right there. That was driving me nuts. I didn't realize I needed so much to level up. What was I pushing for? Willpower. Oh, yeah, because the spear has B and C class scaling with willpower and proficiency. I think it's B with willpower and C with proficiency. So, this looks like it's going to be a very challenging area, and I dig that. It reminds me, you can tell, you know, like when you're playing Dark Souls or Elden Ring, you always go into some area where you're walking through like sewer tunnels and stuff like that, or, you know, there's like a castle with a bunch of hidden walls and stuff everywhere. Like when you go to Volcano Manor in Elden Ring, and there's like hidden walls and stuff everywhere. Not the hidden wall part of this, but how there's like this secret maze and stuff going through the castle. I feel like this took heavy inspiration from moments like that in a lot of Souls 1 games. And I actually dig those areas. I think they're really cool. Whoa. Dude, that is new. That is a part of the new update. That is cool. I didn't realize there was a portal on the ground underneath it. Because that was not there before. Before it was just a floating sword. But I'm going to hop out of here. Let's kind of go... I just want to go over some stuff really quick about what we're going to be doing here in the near future. I try to do this at the end of every video, so... maybe even the people that are new to my channel can get an understanding of the direction that I'm headed. That way they can decide whether they want to invest the time in my channel or not. I promised a friend that I would go through Kingdom Come and give it a fair shake. To be honest, I'm not going to lie, I haven't really given the game a fair shake just because it's not really a game meant for people like me. I like magic and ridiculously large swords that could not otherwise be carried by a normal human being, like Final Fantasy VII, Berserk, you know, the Fugs. I like stuff like that. You know, magic wielding and dragons and wizards and all that cool stuff. This is a very based game. It is very based in reality. There is no magical beings. It is just a straight up medieval game based loosely on real events. I will try a few more times, but if I can't get into it after 15 hours, I'm just going to pull the plug on it and say it's a wrap, because I have a lot of stuff coming up. We have Claire Obscura coming out in like 19 days. We have the Days Gone Remastered coming out in like 3 weeks, you know, and then right after that, it's like Lost Soul Aside, Doom the Dark Ages, Night Rain. It's just like, it's like bam, 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 bam. We're going to get pretty much, we're going to be in like a hailstorm of major titles coming out. But once Claire Obscura comes out, it's going to be all of that. I would like to try to get through Death Stranding, because I've heard it's an amazing game. It's just incredibly long, and some parts of it can seem boring and monotonous, but I've been told by dozens of people that I trust to give it a shot, because it's a really good game. We have Atomfall that we need to get through, AI Limit, as well as Assassin's Creed Shadow. I get it, everybody doesn't like that game, but in order for me to be taken seriously as a video game review type person, either way, I need to play it, just because I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? I want to be able to say, yes, I experienced it. Here's my opinion of that game. I did it with Gollum, dude. I put like 9 straight hours into Gollum, and that was by far the worst game I've ever played in my entire. And I played Lady in a Leotard with a gun, bro. You want to talk about wild, crazy games, dude? Look up Lady in a Leotard with a gun. So that's what's like on deck for the new stuff. We still have Astral Blade that we need to go through, as well as I need to finish my Dark Souls 3 playthrough for the From Software Adventure series. I need to get through Deathbound, and Monster Hunter Wilds. There we go. On the platinum side of things, I need to finish Lies of P still. I would like to go through Ratchet and Clank, as well as that other 3D game, Behemoth, Skydance's Behemoth. Skydance's Behemoth, I only need like 3 more trophies. Ratchet and Clank, I need 4 more trophies. Lies of P, I still need like 14 more for that. And Ender Lilies. That's pretty much what the platinum side of things is looking like. Those are the next platinums up on deck. And for the retro side of the channel, I would like to get through more of Hollow Knight, Infamous Second Son, and Assassin's Creed 3. So that's what it's looking like in the near future. You can bet I will be playing some of these games if you ever stop on by. Primary is the first Berserker Khazan. That takes priority over everything else. This game is amazing. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I find myself thinking about it when I'm not playing, and when a game has me that enveloped in it, I can't help but make this my primary focus, just because I don't want a lot spoiled for me, and I want to figure stuff out on my own. I don't want to have to look things up. I want to be able to say, yeah, I figured out how to do that, or I did that a different way. I don't know what this video is talking about. This is how I did it. I like experiencing these games with as little interference as possible, because it ruins the immersion for me if I start looking things up left and right. That tells me that I'm not interested in this game, and it's not worth the time to figure this stuff out. But I think, yeah, that's going to be it. I will be back later on this afternoon. It is a nice, bright, beautiful, sunny Saturday, so I'm going to try to get some stuff in my backyard done. Also, with that being said, as I state at the end of every one of my videos, on the weekend, it is Saturday. People are going to be taking in festivities. If you are one of these people, please do it responsibly. Come home to your families safe. If you have to make a phone call at 2 o'clock in the morning to an Uber driver, your friends, or your family, they would much rather get a phone call from you at 2 o'clock in the morning than a phone call from a corner at 2 o'clock in the morning. I've experienced this firsthand, just passing on the information. as I always state as well, I know it sounds cheesy, but I want you guys to get back home safely to your families. And even if you aren't participating in the festivities, be on the defense when you're out driving around, because, you know, some people might not practice things responsibly, and that's how you can lose a friend to a drunk driver who was coming home from helping his dad, who had just had a stroke. You know, so I know it sounds cheesy, but I will always say it. Until next time, though, I want to thank you guys for stopping by and hanging out. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to sit here and hang out with me, and for that, I am eternally grateful. You guys are very much appreciated over here on the channel, and the main reason why I keep coming back and doing this every single day. So, thank you. With that being said, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go have some fun.